Hey, what's up, premium tracers? Trust me, I know how you feel. It's a bit of a bloodbath in the stock market right now, potentially going into a bear market. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you guys some of my favorite stocks that I'm going to be really primarily focusing in for the entire month of March. Let's go over the shoulder.
All right, guys. So obviously there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of extreme fear in the market right now. So we're going to talk about a couple key indicators that you really need to be paying attention to. A lot of extremely important support levels that we need to be paying attention to. So let's just cut right to the chase here, guys. So obviously we're at an extreme fear right now. And I think a lot of you don't understand what this indicator actually means. I was talking about this heavily this morning in both our private group and our public group. I thought it was so important to share that this morning. I go live every single morning talking about all my plays and stuff. But this is like, I think a lot of people don't understand this. And I think it's because a lot of new retail investors, this is their first time going through something like this. And I want to quickly explain like I'm five. Right? Extreme. Why do I got this still on, guys? Let me take this microphone off. All right. Extreme fear ain't the time to be selling. Unless you're in some sketchy, weird companies that you shouldn't even been wrapped up in to begin with. Extreme fear is the time to be buying. Okay? Not financial advice. Do your own stuff. But historically, extreme fear is the time to be buying good, solid companies, right? That most likely, if history repeats itself, are going to recover and hit all-time highs again. If you are selling right now because you're scared, blah, 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 right, because the market's going down, you've lost. You're just you're the meme, bro. You're the meme, right? You're the buy high, sell low meme, all right? So this is the time where you got to master your emotions, right? This is where you're going to be able to make a lot more money, right, by sticking to your plans, getting into some great companies, which we'll get into here in a moment, right? And stick to your plan, right? Like some of you just do not understand what that means. Like it's like you set out a plan. You said, hey, like for example, like again, all we talk about here is selling options, collecting premiums, right? Smashing juice buttons and collecting premiums and income from those silly options buyers. Learn more down below in the workshops, a 60-minute training. But like, yo, this is the time to be going out and actually looking at great companies and setups that you want to get into, okay? So, extreme fear, explain like I'm fine version, buy. Extreme greed, sell. And guess what? What's so crazy about this, guys? It's so hard to stick to it until you have good emotion. Look, just a month ago or 2 months ago, right? And if we were saying, hey, sell, right? Like, because we're in extreme greed, but everybody's like, no, it could go higher. It could go to infinity, right? I'm Buzz Lightyear out here, right? No, but this is the time where you have to stick to your plan. For me, like you guys see it, right? If you're in any of our groups, my call outs, aren't they looking a lot different for the past 2 weeks? Am I saying covered calls at all? No, right? Because now is the time for cash secured puts. This is the time for cash secured puts. This is the time to collect incredible premium and get in at insane discounts on great companies. Sorry for getting so passionate about this, guys. My goodness. But I can't stress this enough. This isn't the time to be selling unless you're in like some really sketchy companies that you shouldn't have been wrapped up in to begin with. All right? So very simple, explain like I'm live. Extreme fear, right? Hold through the storm or be buying more. Extreme greed, that's the time to be exiting your positions. Okay? Support level you need to be paying attention to right now. I can't stress this enough. Right? Whatever your favorite S&P 500 ETF is, for me, I'm primarily a VU guy, right? You could do this on SPY, you could go S&P 500, it doesn't matter, right? You got to be watching this right now like a hawk, right? You could see that we are approaching the 200-day moving average for VU here, right? If it goes below this 200, this is a massive, massive, massive support level for VU and the S&P 500. If it crosses below this, it's going to be there for a little bit. We don't know that for certain. Obviously, we don't know. It could touch it and come right back up, right? Just bounce right off it real quick. But historically, what we have seen is it usually stays under there for a little bit of time, whether it's a few days or a week. But usually when it crosses below that 200-day moving average, the other stocks and blue chip companies are going to follow suit, and there's going to be a bit more of blood in the streets. It's a huge support level. You could see if we just go over to the past 5 years, the last time it crossed below this for about a week was in 2022, around September, October 2022. And the time before that, it was COVID, right? So it doesn't happen often. This is an opportunity, right? So for me, I want it to happen because this is going to create massive opportunity in great companies, not just in the tech sector, which obviously I love, but in great blue chip companies that are going to be on a ridiculous sale. Right, so let's talk about this, okay? Number one, you guys already know, I talked about it in yesterday's videos, today's video. If you're new here, obviously, like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube things. Actually, you know what? We don't say that anymore. I say don't do it. Don't you dare hit the like button. Don't you dare subscribe to the only option selling community here on YouTube. And don't you dare drop a comment for your chance to win a free one-on-one options call. Don't do any of those things, okay? And don't you dare look in the description for all the free goodies you get here, okay? But jokes aside, obviously Google, guys. I mean, we had a nice bounce off that bottom Bollinger Band, but we could see we're ping ponging between this middle Bollinger Band and bottom Bollinger Band and under that 200-day moving average of 175. We've already said 160 is kind of our play here for cash secured puts. Okay, that's a fantastic place to lock in some juice right there, and as well as 155s, which I believe was called out inside of our private group yesterday as well, which the premiums were insane. It was like 275 for 155s. I mean, insane return, insane, right? So again, Google, this is a big one that I'm going to be focusing on in the entire month of March. The next one, Nvidia. Again, well below that 200-day moving average, 127. I'm targeting under 100. If I can really get some, and they're already, the juice is there, under 100 premiums. Let's go take a look at Nvidia here real quick, and let's take a look at some of these. Let's take a look at some of these puts that are, let's go April 11th, about 37 days out. That's where I like to be. Let's see our under 100. They're still not that juicy yet, right? But they will be, right? You could see because there's a massive support level at that bottom Bollinger Band. If it dips below that bottom Bollinger Band support, these premiums are going to be a lot juicier. But I'm waiting. I want to see these a lot nicer. So I'm hoping Nvidia does drop a little bit below. If it touches below this bottom Bollinger Band or starts really working towards that level, we are going to see under 100 puts on Nvidia, and that is amazing premium. Whether I get assigned or not, I don't care. I'm all about collecting income, collecting premiums. If you want to learn the same, again, go down below, watch that 60-minute workshop. Not here to waste your time, just showing you the best options trading strategy that doesn't require you to sit in front of a screen all day, doesn't require you to be the Picasso of the candlesticks, and most importantly, doesn't risk a ton of your money like these options buyers and day traders do, okay? So it's insanity that people are doing that and sit in front of a computer all day just to lose money. So let me show you guys two blue chip companies that I love. These are great companies for our quad option strategy because they offer great dividends and they're great companies. I mean, so the two are going to be Procter Gamble and J&J. I know, boring companies, whatever. Boring. This is where I want this. This is why listen. These companies, like, they very rarely go back to their 200-day moving average spot. Right? They don't stay there for long periods of time, right? But we are going to see, right, if VU, right, really works down towards that 200-day moving average, we're going to see massive opportunities in these really amazing blue chip companies like Procter & Gamble and J&J. All right. And you don't see these on sale often. You just don't. These are fantastic companies. You buy and hold these if you get assigned and run some covered calls, pretty far out. So you can collect some juicy premium without actually being assigned. If you get assigned, whatever. But you don't see these. Like, look at the two. Look at these companies. Even with the extreme fear in the market right now, it's primarily happening in the tech sector, guys. Like, that's where it's happening. That's where all the fear is right now in the tech sector. Why? Because in the insane AI boom, right? So what are we thinking? Right? The AI bubble is slowly bursting, right? I wouldn't call it bursted just yet, but there was a lot of hype around all of these AI stocks. Look at pretty much any single tech company out there. They're all in a decline right now. Why? Because the past, obviously, especially the past few months, but the past 2 years have just been insane gains, right? Insane gains. But now, right, you could potentially get in at great levels, and they will, I do believe, a lot of these tech companies, Nvidia, Google, right? Even like Palantir, guys. I'll go so far as say is Palantir, they will recover and hit all-time highs again. It might not be in the time frame we want, but I do believe they will, right? I genuinely do believe that. So Again, I want to see these go. If we can go into like bear market territory, I would love it. I'm probably the only person on YouTube excited about it, right? Because this will be great opportunity to get into amazing companies. Again, this moment does not happen that often. If this, again, I'm going to keep going back here. If this crosses this 200-day moving average, there's going to be opportunities in this market, especially in fantastic blue chip companies that don't come around often. I'm not trying to be hypey here, but it doesn't. It just doesn't happen. Look at the charts. It just does not happen often, right? Again, the biggest was COVID. And again, everybody was running scared and fearful. Were you buying? Probably not. Was I buying? Yes. I primarily during that time was Occidental Petroleum and American Airlines heavy, but other airline stocks as well. That's where I made a lot of money during COVID. I was putting heavy in there because the logic was insane. It was like, bruh, okay, COVID, whatever. Like I knew short term, maybe people aren't flying anymore, but I took advantage of the opportunity. I was like, dude, American Airlines, all these airline companies, they're gonna get bailed out. They're not gonna allow them to go out of business. It's just not gonna happen. Like it's just not gonna happen. And made a bunch of money, right? So like this is the time if we do see something like this happen, if we see a massive pullback, this time around, instead of focusing on like the airline stocks and like the crazy market overreaction that no one's ever going to travel again. Oh my God, it's COVID. We're never going to, like, for me, it's going to be tech. It's going to be the AI stuff. Like that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Like AMD obviously is a big one, but my two big ones are going to be Google and Nvidia. I'm going to stick to the big names, the most valuable companies in the world, right? And that's the play. It's very, very simple. That is my plan. I'm going to stick to my plan. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure, don't you dare hit like, comment, subscribe. But in all seriousness, one lucky commenter will win a free one-on-one option strategy call with me. And if you want to learn more about selling options, collecting premiums on a weekly and monthly basis, make sure to head down below, watch that workshop. It's only 6 minutes long where I show you the best way to trade options without sitting in front of, candlesticks all day, drawing abstract art and being the Picasso and actually collecting real income from the market, not paying them, right? It's a fantastic strategy that I like to call the quad option strategy. But guys, that's it for today's video. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I will see you guys tomorrow.